So I wanted to answer a question that I got asked in the comment section a couple of days ago. And the question was, how do I stay grounded? And I thought this would be a useful topic to explore. So I guess the first thing is, what do we mean by grounded? And what I would describe grounded as is the bedrock upon which we stand, from where we can then go and explore things like transcendent ideas, psychedelic concepts, questions about our own existence, to be able to go into these kind of spaces and really work with these ideas in a kind of a solid, useful way. We need to come from a stable psychological position. And grounding, or being grounded, is the process of getting our feet back on the ground, on this psychological bedrock that I'm talking about. And this is something, it doesn't just necessarily apply to these kind of lofty, psychological ideas. This is also something that can apply in our everyday life, because we often come across situations whereby ourselves or other people are ungrounded. Look at a couple having an argument, and these are two people who might be in a loving relationship, but they are so lost in this moment that they're acting in a sort of an irrational and unpredictable sort of way, in which case they might sound like they hate each other. And for sure, I fall in, I experience these things all the time. I'm at work and I get stressed, or I'm at home and the kids are driving me mad, and just all the usual stuff applies. So I'm not trying to make out like I'm some sort of superhuman being here who never gets ungrounded. I absolutely do all the time. But the grounding itself is something you can do to reset from that position. And the trick here is to recognize that you are going off into this other space, and then to make the effort to put your feet back on the ground. And it is an effort, and this is something you have to put time into. But it's not necessarily a long, 10-hour meditation or something. You just need to be able to recognize that you are off in that space and sort of get yourself back to reality, back to being grounded. Now, I think this is especially important when you are dealing with things like psychedelics, because when you're in this psychedelic space, you are dealing with these just incredible ideas, amazing ideas, ideas around the universe, existence, God. Are we in a simulation? The cosmic joke. What's the point of all this? This is, the absurdity of existence. So you're kind of grappling with all this, and if you're kind of doing it in a place where you are over there, then I don't think that's the right place to start from to be able to comprehend these ideas. And certainly the way I look at something like psychedelics and these transcendence experiences, and just to be clear, all the things I've just named I think are amazing concepts. I think these are things that are so much fun and so sort of, you can get so much value out of exploring these concepts. But my personal sort of take on this is that I think the real value comes in what you bring back from that. So that if you go and explore the concept that life is a simulation, reality, in fact, is a simulation. And so what does that mean? Well, it means that I'm not necessarily real, or this is not me, and the world is not sort of real in that it's, this is just part of the simulation, and perhaps all the people around me are NPCs. And this kind of asks questions then to the nature of experience itself, like, what is my life then? And I think this is, simulation theory is its own thing, and this is a very interesting topic, all these kind of references to things like the Matrix and stuff like that. But my sort of take on this is I always bring it back to the experience that I know I'm having. Like, I know I am having an experience no matter what is going on in the experience around me, or the nature even of that experience around me. So my kind of thing is like, so if reality is a simulation, like, so what? So I'm still, if that is the reality that is being imposed upon my experience, yeah, so what? I'm still here. I'm still gonna, chop wood, carry water, It doesn't really make a difference. But because I can sort of ground myself in that position of like, well, okay, well, I'm going to take this experience for what it is. I'm going to roll with it, and I'm going to see what this experience has to offer me, which is very similar to going through a psychedelic experience. You take a psychedelic and you go off on this bombastic, mythical journey, and from a manner of speaking, what you are doing is entering into another simulation. You are going through another experience, which some people would say is not real. I would think it's kind of just as real as any other part of the experience that we are having. But you go off through that, and the mentality you've got to have as you go through that is like, this is the experience I'm having. I am going to surrender to this experience and get from it what I can. And you can do this no matter what you believe is behind the psychedelic experience, whether you believe this is, portals to pure consciousness, or whether you think this is just drugs acting on your brain, or whether you think this is the spirit realm, or whatever. You can still go at it with the framework of, I am going to get from this whatever value I can get from it. And then the trick is then you bring it back to your everyday experience, and this is this process known as integration. You take the experience of the fantastic, you bring it back to reality, and through integrating it, you get, and you have to be in this kind of grounded state to integrate it, and then you sort of add value to your everyday experience. And if you're not grounded, then you're not going to be able to integrate those experiences. You're just going to keep having the sort of the fantastical experience stacked upon top of the sort of the fantastical experience. And a lot of those same concepts around, like similar to are we in a simulation, also carries over into, the space of people who are trying to become enlightened. So it's like, okay, I am on the path to enlightenment. I am going to transcend this reality or this tier of consciousness. And again, my take would be kind of, yeah, like, so what? In the morning, you're still going to have to take a shit. No matter how enlightened you become, then this physical reality, for want of a better word, it is a reality. There is no matter what level your mind goes to, you are within this human experience. We are within a bubble of human experience for the duration of our lifetimes. So, yeah, you can be sort of enlightened, and I think it's a lofty goal to try and escalate your consciousness towards some sort of higher ideal. But you don't let that completely unground you, because reality will catch up with you. And the reality is that no matter how enlightened you are, these two things have got to exist at the same time. You are going to be a human being. You cannot be an enlightened human being without being a human being. And sooner or later, like I say, reality will catch up with you, and you're going to need to take a shit. You're going to need to do the things it takes to keep you alive, and you need to be able to bond those things together. And again, I think you can only do this from this place of being grounded. My goal is to have the best human experience I can have. And one of the other ways that I use to ground myself within this human experience, and also to get the best of this human experience, is that I build relationships with others. I want to connect with other humans so that I have the framework I need as a human being that will get me through this. And the most obvious and possibly mundane, but to me the most precious aspect of this is my wife and my children. Nothing on this earth will ground you more than having a grumpy teenager ask you where her clothes are, why her clothes haven't been ironed, or when is dinner going to be ready. So just this act of having these connections with the people around me and having my family, this very firmly grounds me in reality. If I'm honest, I can't take any particular credit for that family and that I have. It just happened to me. I didn't consciously choose to fall in love with my wife. No more, and I didn't consciously make that marriage work. I certainly put effort into making that relationship work, and me and Rachel put a lot of effort into here, into making sure that we're communicating and stuff. But the success of it is a kind of a fluke, in my opinion. But I think the thing that we can do is that we can make that effort to connect. And this is obviously extremely tricky in this day and age, because obviously we've got the pandemic situation going on, but also we have a cultural shift around what this connection actually means. I see there's a lot more focus on connecting via digital tools, like through social media and stuff like this. And I think I'm going to show my age here a little bit and show my old schooliness, but I don't think those connections are as valid as the kind of the face-to-face connections, which I value more. I think those kind of connections are a good starting point, and certainly I have met people on the internet and through social media, and usually the point at which I stop thinking of them as being someone I know on social media and them being a friend is that there has been some kind of, or at least a proxy of face-to-face contact. I've had a video call with them, I've had a phone call with them, I spent time, I've chatted with them directly rather than just exchanging text messages. So yeah, my family is a huge part of my process, and I think about it and I'm so grateful. And one thing I just want to kind of sneak in here on the back of this, something I want to share with you guys, is that this is actually, it's 21 years that I've been together with Rachel. This is our 21st anniversary this year. So that's just this huge span of time that I've shared with this person, and the conversations and the growth that we've had with each other in this time. We're never really separate, or at least not for long. And everything that we get up to, we share with the other person. I love her so much, and she's such a gift, and she's been such an amazing companion through this experience that I just cannot help but express a bit of gratitude. Love you. Of course, there's plenty of other things that you can do. A meditation practice is, a really good way of grounding yourself. If you do it correctly, you can also meditate yourself into a completely ungrounded state. It depends on the kind of meditation that you're doing, or whether you're doing it properly. And I'm not saying this is some sort of master of meditation. I am definitely not, but I can sort of do enough to put my boots back on the ground. But yeah, something like meditation, just getting out in nature, get your fingers in the dirt, go hiking. In the same way that you can build connections with other people, you can build connections with the world around you. You can get out, you can go hiking, go camping, go plant some plants, get your fingers dirty, interact with the world, not via your phone or via your PlayStation or whatever, but just get in there and, jump in the lake, go for a swim, climb the mountain, do the thing. Connect with the world, connect with other people, but I think most importantly, connect with yourself. And it can seem like this is something where you need to try hard, like you've got to really do some deep introspection now to find out what's going on with me. And no, try soft. Like try in the softest, just like, okay, just where am I at? Just let it all drop, let all the bullshit just drop away. Try soft. Just whenever you're feeling yourself get stressed or frustrated that you're not moving into that sort of conceptual framework that you wanted, or that you feel like you're not making the progress you want, just try soft. Just let it go and just think, fuck it, it's okay. Let's just see how this goes with how I am. And I think you'll find with that change in mindset, because sometimes what I used to find at the beginning with meditation was it was quite stressful, because I wasn't sure I was doing it right. So trying to get into that mindset was actually counterproductive. And that's a very unintuitive thing to say. But yeah, if you just keep this in mind, I found it helpful. Try softer. Don't try harder, try softer. Find yourself, ground yourself. And yeah, I think that's about all I've got to say on this topic. Hopefully it wasn't too waffly. and that there's something useful in there. As always, I want to say a big thank you to all of you guys. I'll sneak another cheeky thank you in there to my wife Rachel and my family, my kids, for helping me to stay grounded, and also for you guys, for the guys I've had, you know, connections with because of this channel, for the people who reached out to me, the people who, you know, I now see as friends for the wider sort of community. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. It's you know, you've all been a part of my journey, and yeah, I guess I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Just one last thing, just as part of this connection thing, if anyone does want to connect with me, if one of you guys want to chat either via message, or, you know, join me for like sort of a video call or sort of a group call, join our Discord server. I'll put the details are in the channel banner up there somewhere. Yeah, come and say hello. I'm always up for having a chat with anyone about anything, even if it's something you want to disagree about. So, okay guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.